Hi, welcome to Amma's Stories. Today, let's hear a few stories or folk tales from Indonesia. Stories are being passed on from generation to generation, either proven to be true or a matter of community's belief. These stories are known as folk tales have then become another part of the popular culture which are being retold especially to the children. Indonesia is a country rich of its ancestors' heritage, and this does count for folk tales. It becomes a common lesson in the education curriculum in Indonesia for literature subjects to read and comprehend these stories, making them very familiar to the majority of people up to the present time. Some have become legendary stories, while others try to instill moral lessons. These folktales have got more famous from time to time, especially with the rise of online platforms as the medium of storytelling. Let's now take a look at 5 of the most popular Indonesian folktales. Finding a way to retell them should start with reading them. So, the first story or the first folktale is Bawang Merah Bawang Putih. Bawang Merah Bawang Putih or the Shallot and Garlic is a Cinderella-type story of good versus evil and very popular in Indonesia and Malaysia. Bawang Merah and Bawang Putih are half-sisters who are polar opposites of each other. Bawang Merah is a lazy, greedy girl spoiled by their mother, while Bawang Putih is obedient, diligent, and does all the chores without complaint. One laundry day in the river, Bawang Putih loses a scarf, which is picked up by an old woman. The old woman says she will return the scarf if Bawang Putih cooks and cleans for her. Bawang Putih does as she is told, gets the scarf back, and the old woman as a gift tells her to bring home one of her 2 pumpkins, a small or a large one. Bawang Putih chooses the smaller pumpkin. When she breaks open the pumpkin at home, she discovers the fruit is filled with jewelry. Bawang Merah and their mother get jealous and want their own pumpkin filled with jewelry. So they go to the river and deliberately lose their scarves. Then they visit the old woman's house and ask for a pumpkin. They bring home the big one, of course, but instead of jewelry, their large pumpkin is filled with snakes. The story has been adapted many times into stage plays, movies, and TV series. Now, the second folk tale is of Malin Kudang. The original Malin Kudang story is set at a specific location, the Air Manis beach in Padang, West Sumatra. Malin Kudang tells the story of an ungrateful son who is cursed into stone by his mother. If you visit the beach, you can see a stone believed to be the cursed Malin Kudang because it's shaped like a person face down on his knees begging for forgiveness. Malin Kudang or Kudang in the beginning of the story is a hard-working, obedient young man. He sails the world to get more money to support his mother. After many years, Malin comes back as a rich man. New vain Malin now refuses to be associated with his poor mother. That's when the mother prays for him to be transformed into a stone. Third folktale is Timun Mas, which I will be telling later. Let's go to the fourth one, Sang Kuryang. The name Tangkuban Parahu, a volcano in Lembana, West Java, means upturned boat in the local Sundanese dialect. The name is taken from a local legend that bears similarities to the classical Greek tragedy Oedipus Rex. The story's heroine is an exiled princess called Dayang Sumbi who likes weaving to pass her time. One day her weaving needle goes missing and she is too lazy to find it. Instead, she makes a wish that she will marry whoever finds the needle for her. A dog called Tumang finds the needle and brings it back to Dayang Sumbi. The dog turns out to be a god, cursed to live as a dog. Dayang Sumbi and Tumang marry, and soon their son Sang Kuryang is born. Sang Kuryang grows up to be a skillful hunter. He hunts with Tumang but does not know that the dog is actually his father. One day when he could not find any prey, Sang Kuryang kills Tumang and brings his liver home. When Dayang Sumbi finds out her own son has killed her husband, she hits Sang Kuryang in the head, leaving a large scar, and banishes him. Years later, Sang Kuryang returns home, but mother sees the scar on his head and realizes Sang Kuryang is her own son. To stop Sang Kuryang from marrying her, Dayang Sumbi orders him to make her a lake and a big boat to sail on before dawn arrives. Sang Kuryang summons the spirit of his ancestors to help him finish the tasks. Worried that Sang Kuryang might actually make his deadline, Dayang Sumbi prays for dawn to come early and uses her magic shawl to create sunlight. In desperation and thinking that he has failed his tasks, Sang Kuryang kicks his half-built boat upside down, and the upturned boat turns into a mountain. Another folktale is of Sea Castle. Sea Council, I think. Yes. In Indonesia and Malaysia, tales of a trickster called Sea Council or the mouse deer are widely popular. In the stories, Council always outsmarts farmers and bigger animals. In Council and the Crocodile, Council wants to cross a river to reach a cucumber garden. The river is full of crocodiles who wants to eat him. In one version of the story, Council tells the crocodiles to line up because he wants to give them meat, and he jumps on the crocodiles' backs to reach the cucumber garden. Now the last but not least is the story of a girl called Timun Mas. A traditional story from Central Java, Timun Mas or the Golden Cucumber features a brave young girl who escapes the clutches of a giant called Butojo or the Green Giant. It starts with a childless old widow living by herself. She visits Butojo, a powerful giant, asking to be blessed with a child. Butojo gives her a large cucumber and asks her to promise to give her first child for him to devour. When the widow gets home, she finds a baby girl inside the cucumber. She names her Timun Mas and forgets about the promise. One day, when Timun Mas is already a teenager, Butojo drops by the old woman's house, asking her to fulfill her promise. The woman tells Timun Mas to run away, packing her a supply of magic cucumber seeds, needles and salt. Butojo chases Timun Mas, but she always manages to escape by deploying her mother's magic tricks. Butojo is finally defeated when Timun Mas sprinkles salt around him that turns into an ocean and swallows him whole. Now, a publisher called Erlanga for Kids published a Disney Field version of the story in 2016. In it, Butojo is a lonely giant who desperately wants Timun Mas to be his friend. Timun Mas tells him to smile so he doesn't look so terrifying. The story ends happily with a smiling Butojo hanging out with his new friends. So this story I have tried to say it in the video. Hope you have enjoyed these stories. These are all from Indonesia. Some information about Indonesia also has been given in the video. If you like, please comment, share and subscribe to the channel. Till we meet next time with another folk tale. Tata, bye bye.